Hello everybody, what is going on? My name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to be talking about a woman by the name of Diane Downs. If you don't know who she is, make sure that you listen to the video fully and enjoy it, and it will tell you a little bit more about who she is and what she has done. Now Diane was born Elizabeth Diane Fredrickson in August of 1955. She did get married. She married a man named Steve in 1973. And in 1974, her firstborn child, Christy Ann, was born. And 2 little short years later, her daughter, Cheryl Lynn, was born in 1976. Now, it is said that she actually had an affair because her husband, after Cheryl was born, decided to have a vasectomy. So Diane went on and had an affair with a man and got pregnant. And in 1979, she gave birth to a little boy named Stephen Daniel, who they decided to call Danny. In 1982, she decided to become a surrogate for somebody, and she actually named that child Jennifer. Not much is said after that. She was, it was a surrogate pregnancy, so once you give birth, the baby goes to the adoptive parents or the parents that could not conceive. So not much after that was said. Now, this is when things tend to get a little bit tricky. So in 1983, Diane decided that she missed her husband and she wanted to be with him again. And the one way to do that was apparently because he did not have kids. So she decided to go on out and take her kids for a drive late in the night. It was probably after 10 o'clock at night. She was supposedly driving home from being out and about somewhere. And so what I'm actually going to do first is I'm going to tell you guys what she did, like the truth. And then after that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what she told people. So, it's late at night. It's after 10 o'clock. She's driving home. She pulls over to the side of the road, goes into the back of her car, grabs a gun, shoots her 3 children, and get this, she shoots herself in the arm after that, and then she wraps her arm up with a towel to kind of try not to bleed out, I guess, and then she slowly drives to the hospital. Slowly. Like, really? Okay. So when she finally gets to the hospital, I don't know how much time had passed, but I know it's been a while because as soon as the kids were taken to the emergency room, she was told that her second-born child, Cheryl, actually died from her injuries. Now, the look that Diane gave when it came to being told that her daughter was killed, she didn't have a reaction. She just kind of stood there or sat there and was just kind of playing it off like, oh, okay. Like it was not some of the worst and biggest news you can actually get as a mom. I know if it was my son that was killed, I don't even know how to explain it. I would be so upset and angry. I don't even know. I would probably fall to the floor. I'd be in full tears. I would be angry at the world. That's the normal reaction a mom should have. However, she just kind of put it off like, oh, okay. Cheryl died. Like, no, you're supposed to feel bad that your children got this injured to begin with. But then again, she's not normal, apparently. So, time later has passed, and she actually was told that her son, who they called Danny, was paralyzed, from, I believe, the hips down, if I read that correctly. He's paralyzed, and she played off the same kind of look like, oh, okay. No, your child is paralyzed. Like, what is wrong with you? And then her first child, Christy Ann, was unfortunately going in and out of consciousness. She was not doing so well. So the police decided to pull her in to kind of get her statement. And she said, oh, well, this guy, I pulled over because he was pulled over to the side of the road. I went to go help, and he demanded my car keys because he wanted to carjack me. So I pretended to throw the keys into the bush. Now, this is what she's telling police. She pretended to throw keys into the bush. He ran off for it. And then there were some noises happening. And she jumped into her car and took off. That was what she told them during this whole thing. So now the police are waiting for poor little Christy to wake up, because at this point she is the child old enough that if she survives, she can kind of give her statement. Eventually, this poor girl does actually wake up, which is very good news. However, she cannot talk at first. She's had a lot of damage done to her, so she is in recovery. So while she is recovering, she is actually told that she has to write down her answers. So the police are told that she woke up. They immediately go to her. Now, no surprise, her mother is nowhere to be found. And they ask her, "Who did this to you? Can you explain what you saw that night? Was it someone you didn't know? Give us your statement." So she wrote down, and this is probably one of the most heartbreaking things ever. She wrote down, "My mom shot me. My mom shot my siblings." That is horrifying. Okay, like, why? That there is better ways to handle this. Like, you could have given them up for adoption. You could have let another member of the family take care of them. You could have done something better than try to... Oh, my God. Oh, I swear I'm going to end up with a migraine from this woman. So, police are now looking for her, okay? They do eventually find her. And when they find her, she is apparently pregnant again, which is just fantabulous. Okay, she got pregnant again. So she is interrogated again, and they said, well, what happened? Because they want to see what her side of the story is. So now she changes her story again. Instead of the one man trying to carjack her, she said, oh, there was more than one person. And I guess the one had a gun. I didn't, whatever her baloney story was. So now she's changing her story. And then I guess another time she said, oh, but no, wait. I think one of them remembered my name. Okay, so you're going from one stranger to two strangers. And then from two strangers to one may have known you. This makes no sense. Anyway, she is loving the media attention she is getting. And she's just kind of playing it off like, oh, I'm innocent. I didn't do anything wrong. Blah, 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 blah. So, during interviews, you tell that she is pregnant because she is far enough along now to where her stomach is showing that she is pregnant. And when they asked her about pregnancy and all that, they asked her about a lot of things, okay? But one of the answers she actually gave, which makes no sense to me. All she said was, it's easy to conceive a child. What? What does that have anything to do with anything, for one? And number two, just because it's easy for you does not mean it's easy for someone else to conceive a child. Some people, it takes years for some people to conceive. Some people can't conceive at all. Some people need help with in vitro. Some people have to do the surrogate route. Some people have a harder time getting pregnant than this woman, because apparently this woman is extremely fertile. I know nothing as of this point as to who the last baby daddy is. I could not get a name. I couldn't find anything anywhere about him. All I know is that he did end up knocking her up. I don't know. I think it was a one-night stand, is my guess. And unfortunately, this poor child, I believe, was born in prison. And the original name was given to her by the name of Amy. It was a girl. Her adoptive family did change her name, so she has a totally different name now. I believe she goes by Becky, if I remember correctly. Now, she actually found out her biological mother was, and kind of went down a really bad, cycle, like doing drugs, getting drunk all the time. She went to the drugs and alcohol because she wanted to kind of get away from that mentality, thinking that, oh, well, my biological mom is this crazy where she shot my siblings. Who's to say I won't do the same thing? Eventually, I'm going to call her Amy still, but her name is actually Becky now, or Rebecca. So this poor woman decided to reach out to her biological mother in prison. And while talking to her in prison, she actually realized that she is nothing like her biological mother. Now, I'm thinking partially that is because of the fact that she grew up away from that household. She grew up away from all that. She had a normal family, a normal childhood. Now, if all of you guys are wondering what happened to the other two children, Christy and Danny, as you will, apparently I believe it was one of the lawyers from the case, actually adopted the children so that they were able to stay together. And because I guess the man, I believe it was a man, he or she, I don't remember, one of the lawyers involved in the case, I think part of the prosecutors already had a child that had, that needed the extra help. So it was no problem to take in these two kids and to help them see what a normal family should look like. So that is a story of Diane Downs. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and hit subscribe so you can get more uploads. See when I upload next. I do upload almost every single day. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!